Uh, Brian, this team, you've already said that physically has looked so much evolved than maybe past years. As the training goes on, do you start to maybe move on from that physical part and go immediately to the tactical components, the technical components? How do you start ramping that up?
We'll we try to include tactical portions, small, maybe principles of how we defend, principles of how we attack, maybe certain pairs together. But we're still in the fitness phase, mainly. We'll start a lot of our tactical stuff when we come back. We've given them a day off. We're going to start working on some of the attacking movements. Those are usually harder to kind of get across. Defending is hard work, and it's a little bit easier. Um, so yes, we will start to ramp that up, but we're not done with the physical part yet.
And with the tournament so close apart, I mean, are you gonna uh, emphasize more the fact that the continuity and what the team had been doing maybe last year will translate to this year, so you won't?
Interesting question, Nico. Very good question, because what we discussed was last year in MLS, teams had found us out. Teams kind of knew how we played. And it's not to say that our opponents in the Club World Cup are going to scout us or not scout us. But the fact of the matter is we can play similarly to what we do best or what we know best, because our opponents really don't know what to expect out of us. So in lieu of changing everything for this Club World Cup, you might see parts of our team that look very similar, but we are going to work on different attacking movements, a little bit of a shift how we build in our possession for the MLS season.
Wanted to ask a little bit about Nuhu. We've kind of talked a little bit about this, but because of the fact that he was did such a good job as lockdown defending in the in the World Cup.
Yep.
Is there an avenue to do that with you guys, or Steph was saying that good luck trying to not get him to go up and try to score? So,
well, an interesting question. His goal scoring narrative that was on for, I don't know, 3.5 years or whatever, kind of was a little too much. I'm glad that he finally got that out of his way, and we can move past that a little bit. His main attributes are his defending. He is a lockdown defender. Nobody gets by him. And yes, we do try and work on his attacking, but part of our new little shift in how we want to play is keeping Nuhu playing to his strengths, and Jordan and Leo Chu maybe playing to their strengths, and setting up the left side so that we can balance the right side a little bit more, a little bit better.
So I feel like I should know this, but for you guys to be playing 11v11 weekend of training, is that normal, or is that something that indicative of you guys being farther ahead?
We have to do it. We wouldn't do it in a normal preseason, but we just have to because of the compressed schedule. We have to start playing bigger games just to get the ideas across. Again, we start with little individual things, small group stuff, but then almost every day we have to go to some form of bigger game, because that's reality. Our game is 11 versus 11, so we have to get them sped up a little faster.
So that's new. That's new. Okay.
That is new. Good catch, Jeremiah.
as far as you like the way that they came in, are they still on track the way that you like?
But it is starting to get. I mean, they are getting tired, so we have to make sure we give them the appropriate recovery. But yes, I am still very pleased with the physical component of our preseason.
It's been impressive, at least for me, watching Obed's touch on the ball despite not having a lot of lack of minutes last season, and JP's endurance and just his motor despite going over an injury. What have you seen from those two in those regards?
Well, look, same thing could be said of Jordan. You saw a micro dose of that when Christian had the 4 or 5 weeks down with his surgery at the end of last year. Players that come back from significant injuries, their bodies have more time to heal. Plus, they do a lot of work in the gym which makes them sometimes a better athlete, so that when they come back out on the field, that's what you see. I think that's true in Obed's case, for sure. And JP is just, as he gets older, he gets better. I mean, he's great. I love watching him work. He, in my opinion, is ahead of schedule. But of course, we will, be cautious. It's not just the first game and we're going to blow him out. We need him for the entire year, but he looks good.
A lot of what JP was doing was he would put it on social media and whatnot. So we've seen him doing a lot of this work.
Yeah.
Obed, we haven't seen as much. I mean, is there anything you can tell us about what kind of work he was doing while he was hurt? They kind of kept him.
Adam Centofanti and Megan, they had programs, specific programs. Megan in the weight room, Sean oversees everything, but Adam out on the field. We have a lot of help. We welcomed Hillary back. Everybody does a good job there. Chris, Paul, we all pitch in. But specifically, I don't even know what their actual workouts were, but I know that they work them appropriately, if you know what I mean.
Danny Leva seemed to take 2 steps forwards last season.
Yeah.
He saw the opportunity. He made it happen. Now Obed's back. How do you balance the dynamic and, keep him at that same rate?
Well, we have 4 really, really super talented midfielders in Obed, Josh, Danny, and now Sota. And so there is a logjam that we have to think about as a club as to what we're going to do with all these very talented young players and how we get the most out of their individual development. Can some of them be loaned out? Can we sell some of them? What is the story? That's a project that, Craig has to take on, because we really haven't sold players before. And so, look, we've got a surplus. So what are you going to do with that surplus? It's a good question. And it's also, makes my job harder when, Danny, he's going to the U20 camp here at the end of the month. You've got Sota, who went on loan a little bit last year and came back better. Josh is chomping at the bit. Him and Obed are fighting for that, spot in midfield. It's really going to drive all 4 of those kids. It's going to maximize their development.
There still isn't a decision that I know of as far as playoffs format. As a fan, what do you like most?
Playoff? You mean if they're going back to one and home and all that?
Yeah.
I like the one and done. Me personally, Jada, I like the one and dones. I thought it was intriguing. You got to be on that day. Sometimes tactics played. Okay, you play away from home, negative first, and you get your home game. There was nuances either direction, but me personally, I like the one and done.
I asked Steph if there was a motto for this group this year. Motto. What would that be, in your opinion?
I don't know. It's a little early to tell, or it's a question maybe. I hadn't thought about it as much. I don't think they need a motto. I think the ethos of the team, the team never gives up. They never quit. That's what I've said in the past. They are a very proud group. With pride or proud or some word like that, kind of exemplify who they are. I think there's probably a lot of mottos that they could use, but it's a determined group. They didn't like the way the season ended.
Steph said reaching new heights. What do you think of that one?
Okay.
You like that one?
Yeah, I'll run it up the flagpole. I'll see if those guys want to
Get on a shirt.
paste it on anywhere. Yeah.
So you're not the type to start the day with anything, message or anything like that?
I'm a little more pragmatic than that.